All right, guys, what is going on? What a crazy finish in New Orleans tonight. This game went to overtime. It probably should have never went to overtime, but it did. The Kings blew this game tonight. Final score was 140 to 133. CJ McCollum had, I think, 9 or 11 points in the overtime. He just always gets up against the Kings. Put him as one of the all-time Sacramento Kings killers up there. He had a monster game. Uh, Gotta give credit where it's due. They made 18 plus 3 pointers tonight, and they got it done in overtime. The Kings had this game in control, man. They really mind blowing that they blew this game before All Star break, but I'm not gonna get too down because the game over All Star break, you take the split, knowing that the second half back to back. It would have been probably a lot worse if you would have gone 0-2. But boy, 2-0 would have been nice, but we'll take the split. Let's start off with the numbers. Let's talk about the numbers with the starting five. Sabonis in 43 minutes tonight. I mean, just insane numbers, man. 22 points, 28 rebounds for Domantas Sabonis, 5 assists. Man, that's just sucks that didn't show in the win for Domas, but man, I mean, just crazy, crazy numbers. Levine probably had his best game as a King tonight. 45 minutes, he had 32 points, 10 assists, 2 rebounds. Best game in the Kings uniform, and unfortunately, it was a loss. It is what it is. DeRozan, 43 minutes, he had 20 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. But DeMar DeRozan was. We'll talk about DeRozan down the stretch in a little bit. He just wasn't himself down the stretch tonight. Malik Monk, in 43 minutes, he had 24 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. Keegan Murray, 36 minutes, he had 13 points, 3 assists, 8 rebounds. That's a good production from the starting five. It's just that the fact that they gave up 140 points tonight, it wasn't enough to get a win. Keon Ellis off the bench, 23 minutes, he had 7 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Jonas Valanciunas, 14 minutes, he had 4 points, 2 boards, 2 assists. Jake LaRivia had 11 minutes, he had 3 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound. And Trey Lyles in 9 minutes, he had 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Let's talk about how the Kings lost this game tonight. In the fourth quarter down the stretch, Pelicans missed multiple free throws. 3 straight possessions, the Kings went to ISO DeMar DeRozan on the block, and DeMar DeRozan missed 3 straight jumpers. Knowing that Zach LaVine is cooking and he's been your best player offensively all night, I didn't like the fact that the Kings went away from Zach LaVine down the stretch. Yes, I get it. DeMar DeRozan is your closer, but I felt like after a couple misses, you got to give Zach LaVine the ball, man. He's just as good offensively, if not better offensively, than DeMar DeRozan. You gotta feed him the ball. And I know that they'll have time to work the kinks out, and I get that DeRozan is the best closer in the NBA, and you got to give him the ball when the game is online. Absolutely, I still 100% am with DeMar DeRozan giving him the ball, but I felt like in this case tonight, when Zach LaVine was cooking, when he was your best offensive player, you should have went to him when you needed it the most, and the Kings didn't do that down the stretch. They were actually lucky to force this game into overtime. Willie Green decided to play the foul game at the end. Malik Monk got offensive rebound. Domantas Sabonis missed free throw, and he decided to make 2 free throws. And they got a defensive stop on CJ. That's how the game was forced into overtime. And even in overtime, another thing that I noticed was, why is Keegan Murray on CJ McCollum? Why I was sick and tired of seeing Keegan Murray chase CJ McCollum in that overtime tonight. I felt like Keon Ellis should have been on the court in overtime, and I felt like Keon Ellis should have been on CJ McCollum in that overtime. And it's like, Doug, what do? You gotta put Keon in the game for defense to stop CJ or guard CJ. Who are you taking off the lineup? Who are you taking off of DeRozan, Levine, Sabonis, Malik Monk, and Keegan Murray? In this case tonight, knowing that DeRozan was off down the stretch, I probably would have took DeRozan out, and I probably would have put Keon Ellis in the game. That's the way I saw it. It's just frustrating, really frustrating to see that. But the Kings, as badly as they should have won this game, and they could have extended their win streak to 4 games, and they could have really been ending this first half of the season on a high note. I'm still going to say that they're still ending it on a high note. The fact that they're at All-Star break now, you have a week off. You're 28-27. You're one game over 500. You're third in the Pacific Division behind the Clippers and the Lakers. Um, you have a week off now to finally get some practice time in with your new pieces, man. I think that's just been the knock the last week and a half, 2 weeks is that 2 weeks is that they just haven't had time to gel. They haven't had time to get the practice time in. And this is from now until the next Friday when we play that first game after the All-Star break against the Warriors. Uh, this is valuable time to get those practices and build continuity and chemistry with your new pieces in Zach LaVine, Jonas Valanciunas, Jake Larivia, and Markel Fultz. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to be down because of one terrible loss in the way they lost tonight. Yeah, they didn't have Zion Williamson tonight, but let's face it, we 3-0'd Zion's Williamson's ass. The Kings, despite losing tonight, they still beat the Pelicans in the season series this year, 3-1. And, a split is good. A split is good. Obviously, yes, a 2-0 would have been nice on a back-to-back. Don't get me wrong, it could have. The reality is that it wasn't. They just didn't win tonight. And I know a lot of people are down about tonight's loss and how they blew it. I get it. And how DeRozan was not the best tonight down the stretch. I get it. I absolutely get it. I'm with you guys. But you can't get too down. You can't get too low is what I'm saying, guys. This team, I don't know about you guys. I'm in the position that where they're at right now, despite all the crap that's happened this year, despite Mike Brown being fired, despite De'Aaron Fox being traded, in the position that where they're at right now, they still have a chance to be really good in the second half of the season. I expect them to be a lot better than how they were the last week before this All-Star break. So with that being said, I don't know about you guys. I'm excited about the second half of the season. This is probably the most I've been excited about of the second half of the season since the Beam season, which was 2 seasons ago, the year that we made the playoffs. Last year, I was on a decline just because Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk both got hurt, and they were both out for the year. And it was after the trade deadline, and we really didn't make any moves. That's not the case this year. This year, the Kings obviously very active in the trade deadline, and they're very active on picking up with Markel Fultz. He didn't play tonight. He was available to play tonight, but he didn't play tonight. But I'm excited moving forward, just overall, man. Excited. I'm pretty sure he'll get some minutes moving forward with some practice time with the squad and the fellas. And moving forward, I'm looking forward to seeing what Zach LaVine does too. Tonight, we saw a great sample of what he was very capable of being the number one option and the best scorer of the night. Moving forward, that's only going to get better, guys. So with that being said, greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts on tonight's game, and let me know your guys' thoughts on where we're at right now currently. 9th in the Western Conference, 3rd in the Pacific, 28-27 overall on the season. I mean, despite all that, despite everything that's happened this season, guys, I take that as a positive. And I think that with your new pieces, get a week off, build continuity, build that chemistry together, get some more practice time with one another, and let's see what we can do in the second half of the season. That's just the way I see it, man. So with that being said, really do appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe, stay healthy, have yourself a great rest of your night. Take care. God bless. Keep pushing forward. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.